welcome back to another episode on the Solent Warrior. Out on an absolutely disgusting, sloppy Friday night. Tonight we are looking, I don't know what the wind noise is like, so you have to bear with me. But tonight we're looking for sole. Where I wanted to fish, it's not going to be fishable in this. It will be, but I don't think it will fish. So we're going to see if we can find a little bit of shelter somewhere. Got about another 25 minutes steam to where I think we'll find some fish. I'll go through all the tactics, all of the baits, how I set up, why I'm using what I'm using, and hopefully you'll be able to catch some. Let's just get going. I am where I need to be. Just before we lose the light, we've got a fucking great moon coming up. That might stuff us tonight. So, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm using. We're having a rig off tonight. A rig off. So, I've got... These are from Rovers Tackle. If you're from the Solent area and you haven't been into Rovers Tackle, what are you doing? Get down there. They're a brilliant shop. They'll do everything they can to help. They'll point you in the right direction where you need to be, what rigs you need to be using. They're very good. So, we've got a boomed rig. We're going to be using them on two rods, and then on other two rods, we're going to be using just one up, one down flapper rigs. Now, there is a load of controversy whether a metal boom rig creates an electrical field between the two that draw in the fish. I call bullshit on it. I think it just sits nicely on the bottom and it gives a good spread. And these are actually weighted. I don't know if you can see that lead. Let's pull one out for you quick. These are actually weighted at the top of the rig. So when you put your lead on the bottom, weighted top and bottom and lays it real nice and flat. It's a guy who makes these for Rovers called Trigger, and he knows his shit. So there is the lead at the top. It's a little sort of, I think it's 1 ounce inline drilled out lead. Then you've got two booms, one at the top and one at the bottom, and then your lead goes here. So that sits perfectly flat on the bottom. I'm going to get both rods. I'm going to get all 4 rods set up, get a bait in the water, then we'll figure out what's going on. Right, so all this is pretty much the same rig. It's one up and one down. So I've got a lead in the middle, a hook on the bottom, and a hook on the top. And the main line goes to that. I'm going to get this tied on. We're going to see if a boom to no boom makes any difference in the sole fishing. We might not even catch a sole, let's be honest, but we can only try. Right, I'll put a slightly heavier lead on this one because we've got a flood tide. So at the moment the tide is running from this way to this way, so I want my lighter leads to be on the left hand side because they're going to trot, and I want the heavier leads to be up tide so they stay where they are. Is that a bit better? There you go. I'm going to be blinded to fucking buggery by this light up here, but at least it looks like a better camera. So we've got 2 rods out now. I've got one with a boom on and one without a boom on, and we shall see if there's any difference. Now we've got a flood tide. High tide tonight is about 11 o'clock. We're going to fish up to about 11, half 11. Generally, let's turn this off. Generally the fishing dies coming up over slack tide here, but we've got a rather big tide today, so it's a little bit, I think our best sort of times in between 9 and 11, just a couple hours up. we've got to introduce a new rod. New rod and new reel day. Now Sidewinder sent me they're one of our sponsors on the channel. They sent me a little care package the other day with a few goodies. And for a thank you for pushing the lures for them the last year or so, they were in Italy a couple of weeks ago and they found these. They're called Raptor rods. Now this is a 50-gram spinning rod, and I thought, and they bought me that just for a thank you, which is lovely. So I thought I better treat a new rod to a new reel. We don't want to put a skanky old crappy reel on it. So I popped in Rovers. It's only a cheap reel. I think I paid 50 quid for this. It's a Pen Wrath 2, 4,000 size, and I've just loaded it up with £20 braid. So let's get some leader on this and see what it's like. It's a little bit, as far as spinning rods go, it's a little bit heavier than what I would normally use, but it'll be perfect for a bit of heavy work when we're in Cornwall with jigs and things like that, or if I'm sending some heavy lures over wrecks around here. But it'll also be perfect to stick a little 1 ounce lead on and fish for small fish with. Let's get a leader on this. I think we'll go boom on this rod. We've got a fish. First cast, first fish. Just as we're setting up, I can't even call that. What is this? Feels like it's probably a bass. But it's not really fighting very hard. Just some big nods. What we got? Hopefully it's not a dirty reel. Oh no. No, no, no. That is not what we want to see. And he's already making a mess. Piss off here. Just piss off. That is not what we want to see where we're fishing today. Oh God, I don't know how long it's been, but I haven't had a dogfish for a long time, bros. Get another worm on that, get it sent back out. We're picking up a bite on this rod. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a better fish. That could be what we're looking for, you know. Feels like it. Just starts setting up the other rod. Come on. If it is, oh, it's right up in the water. No. Whoa, there is a massive bass following that then. There we go. Just, it's going to deck me. That's good. There's plenty of fish here, just none of which are the fish you're after. It's a small bass. Just to let you know, if you're not in the UK, if you're not from the UK, bass, minimum landing size, 42 centimetres. Even if you are in the UK and you're new to fishing, you cannot keep bass unless they are bigger than 42 centimetres. Now, let's get this new rod out here. Oh, we've got a fish on the other rod. Oh my God. There we go. This is going to be a hectic old session. That's slightly better. Right, about similar size. He just went for it. Oh, I can't even see that hook. T-bar. So, I don't know if you know how to do this, but I will show you. So, these are T-bars. You can buy these from Rover's Tackle. You need to slip onto the line, go all the way down, turn the hook, the fish just pops out. You know what? Fuck it. I've been trying to keep the camera to a place where you can't quite. Oh. Oh, that's a better fish. Straight up in the water. We all know this is going to be a bass. Oh. Hopefully it's a decent one. It ain't giving me much curry at the moment though. Oh. Not a bass. It is a massive, I might lose this. Woo! Now that is coming home. Let me show you this fish. Hooked perfectly in the lip. These are absolutely loaded with spines. See if I can. Oh. Ah. Right, I might have him. Ah. That's a big fish, man. For up here. There we go. That is a massive bream. That's a clonker. He's a couple of pounds. And I tell you what, he's coming home for dinner. Lovely, lovely fish. What I'll do it off a camera because people don't like to see it. But I'm going to cut the gills and let it bleed. And I'm going to give it a brain spike. Google ikishimi. It's how the Japanese deal with fish. The brain spike relaxes all the muscle, and cutting the gills bleeds the fish and gets any blood out of the fillet and makes for a much, much tastier fish. Now it might seem a little bit savage, but if you're going to kill a fish to take home, then you might as well look after it as best as you can. Now what I was about to say before that went off is I've been trying to do a bit of camera trickery so you don't know where I am. If you do know where I am, please don't comment on the channel saying you know where it is and this is where it is. If you know where I am, then fish it. If you don't, then good. This mark used to be a bit of a secret. It's not really anymore because of a couple of people that we know that has posted it all over the internet and told charter boats about it, and the cat's out of the bag really. If you know where it is, then keep it to yourself. If you don't, then you're never gonna fucking find out. That was a really good bite. unusual. That might be a sole. Unusual that a bass would take a ragworm and not just scoff that whole hook. That could be a sole on the end of the worm. They've got very small mouths. Sometimes they don't quite get the hook in the mouth and they'll try and swim off. They'll give you that good bite. And they haven't quite found the hook. But if they haven't found the hook, once they've gobbled down whatever they've stolen off the hook, they'll come back for the rest. That's what I'm hoping anyway. Calm down a little bit now. It's not so hectic, you know. I can keep 3 rods in the water. We've got the bream. What I've done is I've cut the gills, give it a brain spike. The brain spike, like I said a minute ago, will relax the muscles. And then I've cut the gills, but I've put it in a little bit of water, just so that blood doesn't congeal and stop pumping out. It'll keep flushing out. We'll get all the blood out of the fish, and then we'll have a much, much better fish for the table. Doing the dodge stop. There we go. That feels like another bass. Small bass. You can tell because they come straight up in top of the water. They fly up. Lots of small bass here. We want, if we're going to catch a bass, we want a nice big chunk. Not small ones like this. This is about 30 centimetres. Now, I've mentioned on a few of my videos before, my ideal size to take home is between 42, which is minimum size, to 52. Now, my missus don't eat fish, or she does, but only from a chippy, because she doesn't want my fish, because it's out of the sea. She won't eat, she does, she'll eat the odd fish that I catch, but generally she doesn't. So if I'm keen to keep a fish, it's just going to be for me. A 42 centimetre bass, that'll do 2 meals for me perfectly, no worries. So I don't want anything, you know, I don't want to keep a 7-8 pound fish, because generally it'll go, well, it won't go to waste, but I'll have it 3 days in a row. And I like to have it as fresh as it can be. Better get this one baited up and sent back out. We've got quite a lot of tide at the moment, which is not ideal for sole fishing, I don't think. You don't want a tiny, tiny little tide. You want like a mid-range tide. What I've done is I've found, like, I've got a bank, contour bank. Contour bank? I've got a bank, and I've set up on top of it, and I'm fishing down the back edge of the bank. The idea is down the back edge of the bank. If you imagine that's the bank, and the tide's rushing over it like that, there's going to be less tide behind the bank. So small fish like sole will be sat up behind it. So I'm fishing down the back edge of that bank. That's the idea. What we can do, if we don't start finding sole where I'm fishing, I'll cast on top of it. You know, I'm in a boat, I can cast wherever I want. So I'll cast and let it trot down the edge of the bank. I'll cast on top of the bank. I'll cast right over into the deep channel. Just see if we can find the fish. The joys of having a boat is I can move around wherever I need to be. So if we sit on air and after 2 hours we haven't found the fish we're looking for, we can move somewhere else. High tide, like I said a minute ago, is about 11 o'clock tonight. So we're going to fish up to about 11 o'clock. Maybe we'll push it to about 11:30, depending on how the fishing's going. It definitely has slowed down, which is good, because I don't want to be catching dogfish and bass. I won't mind catching a few bream, that sort of size, but I want them baits to be sat there long enough for a sole to find them, really. And when there's little bass and smooth hounds and all sorts of other bits and bobs, can ruin a sole session. Like that, literally every time I finish what I'm saying and stop filming, we get a bite. And it's a very small bite as well, which is, it's always nice. I'm going to leave that. There's a sole just picking at it because the bite was like. Could be small bass, could be pout. You get whiting and pout. You get fucking everything here. I've had red mullet, I've had stingrays, I've had smooth ounce, bass, thornback rays, congers, green eels, sole. I had my PB red mullet here. I think it was last year, maybe the year before, with one of my friends, Dougal, and it was a slab. I tell you what, I'll insert it here right now. Size of that thing, look. And I tell you what, it tasted delicious. Red mullet is unreal. Oh, I'm going to stop filming right now. I bet I get a bite. I didn't get a bite. Come on, Sol. Getting a little bite on this. You see that? Little tiny knocks. Right, we got it. Hopefully, I've got a good feeling about this one. Oh, I think it might just be a little bass, you know. Is he still living on there? Yeah, fucking hell. Not what we want, man. They're getting smaller. This is gonna hurt me, but they're getting smaller, guys. Guys, don't say guys. They're getting smaller, bros. Well, I was just gonna change the bait on this. This is that one we had a little rattle on. I think. Oh yeah. Now that is exactly what we've come for. Whee. That is a Dover sole. Small one, mind you. Ah, strong fish, these are. Strong fish. But that is exactly what we've come for. We just want one a little bit bigger. Dover sole are one of the highest paid commercial fish in the UK. I have to use the T-bar because he swallowed that hook down a little bit. There we go. Now this one is, they're a handful, man, these things. This is in size. So just to give you a bit of context, so that is a 29 centimetres. He's going back. And just to let you know, I've got a chart down here. Minimum size for sole is 24 centimetres. It's fucking ridiculous because there wasn't even enough meat on that for me on my own, let alone a 24 centimetre fish. So the first sole is on the boom rig, on the metal boom. People also think you need to use tiny little maddies and tiny little worms for flatfish. But I can tell you this now, if you want a big sole, decent medium to large king rag. Fucking perfect for a big sole. A little bit hard to get on the hook when you use it in size 2s. But they will get it down tell you that. I had biggest sole I've had on this boat. Got a bit of a wash coming. Biggest sole I've had on this boat is about 3.5 pounds a couple of years ago, and the ragworm was like that big, and I just had it hooked on maybe about 2 or 3 inches, and the tail was about that big hanging off, and that sole managed to gobble all the way up until it got to the hook. Don't be shy when you're fishing for sole. That's a bite. Oh, and that feels like a sole. That's it. No, I reckon it's a bass. Oh, I don't know, I reckon it could be a sole. It gives you like a big sort of, I don't know how to explain the flutter. It's a head shake, but it's a quick one. Cannabis, is it a sole? No, it's another bass. Oh, and he's gone. Well, he spanked me in the face. It's got a little bit, the bites have died. The bites have died off a little bit, which I don't mind too much, because like I said a minute ago, it gives the sole a chance. But I do like it when it's hectic. As much as it's not the fish I'm going for, it's still good fun when all the rods are going mental. But it's definitely calmed down a little bit now. So we have got, what's the time now? 9:30. So we've got about an hour and a half, 2 hours up to high water now. I feel like this is going to be the best part of the tide for the sole. A few little rattles here and oh. There we go. Another bass, I reckon. I reckon he's another bass. You can tell if it's a sole because it will stay real deep. These little bass, once you set the hook in them, they just fly up in the water. So the line goes right out the back of the boat. They'll swim your lead up for you. But they're getting smaller and smaller. Not good. If we keep picking up little tiny bass like this here, I might have a little move into the itching. It's round the corner. There's a few marks up the Itching River that should hold some big sole. They're all the way through Southampton water. You just got to find the right sort of spot to sit on. It's got to be the right habitat. Where I am at the moment, if you drag a grip lead through here, comes out a load of white rag hanging off all of the grips. Loads and loads of white rag down there. That's what the sole will be feeding on. Now, there's a lot of places further up the Itching that bait diggers dig all the ragworm there. So if there's ragworm beds, they'll be sold there. Well, you'd like to hope so anyway. At least they're there. You can't get one smaller than that though. I kept quiet then because it was staying deep. But there's your sole and another crappy bass. I cast that up onto the shallow ground, so see if we can get that properly. I cast that up onto the shallower grounds and it paid. I don't think I've ever seen a sole so small. If this bass will stop, if it just stops, just stop, it's enough. Normally it's these that are a pain in the arse. Oh, there you go. I just want you both to stop so everyone can see you, all right? That's enough. All right, there we go. No. And there we are, look. A bass and a sole. God, that was hard work. Little tiny sole. I tell you what, do you remember I said earlier 24 centimetres? That is 1 centimetre under legal size. Get in the water. That is mad. The legal size limit is so small. Let's fish up on that shallow ground again, see if we can find the skateboard we're looking for. I just realised that that was on the non can't even think at the moment. That was on the non-boom rig. Up in the shallows. What I'll probably do is bring another one of these rods in, rebait, and stick that up in the shallows as well. And we'll get them both baited up anyway, get some fresh. Key is always to have fresh bait out there. When the bites sort of slow down, you get a little bit, you know, I'll just leave it out. Leave it out. You want that fresh bait going in constantly. So let's get them baited up. We just got a bite that looks like. Oh, this could be it. Nah, I reckon it's an eel. Yeah, this is either an eel. I think it's an eel. Could. Oh, it's getting heavier. Just the way it was fighting then, it felt like it was twisting and staying very. Might as well be an eel. Fucking things. I'm like 4 miles inland, man. And there's dogfish. Oh, I have escaped dogfish for God knows how long now. A long time. Mainly lure fishing. Right, we might have a sole on that other rod, you know. Yeah, check this out. Yeah, there's a sole on there. Small one. I can tell just the way it's vibrating. It's a small fish. Oh, it's getting heavier. Oh, it's garfish right on the top. It's getting heavier. Now, this could be what we've come for. Oh, come on. Come on. Oh man. It is a species of flatfish, but it's not the one. It is it's a flounder. What's going on? Why am I hooked up? There you go. It's a flounder. Come on. There you go. Tell it's a flounder because it's got a rough line running all the way up the middle here. It does have orange spots, but a lot of flounder do. On place, you'll get nodules on the back of the head here. There is no nodules. That is just a flat head, and it's got that little rough line running up the back. There you go. Not what we came for, but we'll take it. Lovely fish. Try and make it look massive. Oh, look at the size of this. Right, I can't see the hook. We'll try and T-bar him and get my headlamp on, see if I can see that hook. Right, let's get this ragworm out of his mouth. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to big old boat going past. I'm going to get my forceps out and go in through the gills. So I'm not going to show it on camera because I've done it many a times on film, and I want to try and get him back in the water nice and quick. All I do is go in behind the gills. My forceps come out of its mouth. I wrap the line around the forceps, pull the line backwards, turn the hook, pop them out. Sounds easy, doesn't it? We've got a fish on the other rod, so I'm just going to show you that another again quick before he goes back. And let's see what we got there. Heavy. Can't feel any head shakes or anything like that. Oh, there he is. This could be it. This could be the sole. Getting heavier. Come on. Oh, what the fuck? It's bass that wanted to fight like a soul. Right, I've got, there's your bass. Show you real quick. Upside down bass. I've got all rods in the boat now, so I need to tee him off. Bass. I'm going to get all these baited up, get them sent back out. I think we're going to get that sole any minute. Right, after that, again, it comes through in sort of waves here. Another couple of hectic 10 minutes or so. We are in prime time now for a big sole. It's got to happen. We've had everything. But, I mean, we have had two small sole, but we want that massive clonker. We need a sole and bream catch and cook is what we need. We've got our bream. which let me just show you. So, do you remember I said about the Ikishimi? Can you see all the colour? It's gone from him now. All the colour has run out. And can you see how flexible? There's no, see how floppy that is? All of the muscles have relaxed because that brain spike that has gone in there has detached any nerves going into that muscle so it doesn't tense up. So that will make a really, really nice tasting fish. See how the colours have gone? Gone very silver. The way to do it. Oh, we've got another fish on. Oh, right, okay. This could be it. Heavy, not much fight. Please don't be a dogfish. Staying real deep. That's not a dogfish, that's a flatfish. I can tell by the tail beats. Just gonna put my head torch on to see what we're dealing with here. Oh, this is going to be a big soul, mate. This is going to be it. Come on. What the fuck? Get in the boat. What the fuck? It's flat. It's a massive flounder. Look at the size of that. Get off me, line. I've got a hook in back in my foot. Wait, let's sort this out. Boy, it's going spastic. It's going spastic. Look at the size of that for a flounder. He's a monster. Well, never mind winter flounder fishing. Bit of autumn flounder fishing is what you want. That is a chunk. I don't know if you can see how thick it is. Wish I had some scales with me. That's, I'd say that's a couple of pounds. I would say that was a couple of pounds, that's for sure. See if we can get a really nice hold of this. Just to give you some perspective on size. If he doesn't tense up, there we go. That's a big flounder. For up here anyway. Again, on the shallow bit of ground. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of surgery on him quick. And there's the fish. Absolute clonker. Tell you what, let's get a water release. Try not to drop my phone, I've got slippery hands. Come on. There he goes. Well, 2 flounder in a session is good going for this time of year. And the first one was relatively small, but that was a clonker. Well happy with that. We used to, when we were nippers, we used to keep flounder. I've never enjoyed the taste. I think they're quite a muddy fish. Right, what's the tide doing now? Which way? Right, we've got the tide has turned slightly now. So, right, well, the fishing has just died. It's like a light switch being turned off. There has just been nothing for about 45 minutes now, and had a single rattle. As soon as that tide sort of swung round, it just died. I'm going to give it 5 minutes here. If we haven't had a fish for 5 minutes, then we'll get back, get the boat cleaned down, get a bit of kip, and we'll cook this bream up. I'm not sure how I'm going to cook it yet. I might just go classic pan fried, or I might spice it up a little bit, but we'll figure that out when we're in the kitchen. Just clearing away the last rod. And we've got a bit of weight to her. Oh dear. Tangled up little smooth hound. It's even smaller than the last one. Let's get in that kitchen. We're in the kitchen. This is going to be a little bit of a rush. So, we're having fajitas tonight. I'm not going to have chicken. She's having chicken. We're going to have bream. So, I'll go through how I fillet these. I'm going to be skinning them, and we're going to be putting them in a panko breadcrumb and shallow frying. So, let's just get into it. Right, first things first is these spikes will deck you, so be so careful. All I'm going to do is just pop in the top and right down to the head and all the way down to the tail, and then just cross hatch that like that. You'll feel them bones, keep your knife angled in and just follow it down. I'm not going to try and get the rib cage deboned on this one. I'm just going to go over the top like that. That is your first fillet. And then to skin it, same as I do. I'll tell you what, we have got some pin bones there. So I'll just run in and V-notch them. In fact, I'm just going to whip that straight off. Straight down the middle. Put that out to one side. All I do is go in on the tip of the tail, leave about 1 centimetre so you've got something to hold on to, and just run that through. Move that fish rather than the knife, and that is your fresh fillet. I'll get the rest of this done, and we'll get it breadcrumbed. Got some egg wash. My fish that I've cut up into slivers, and by the way, I've been rubber roofing today. My hands aren't dirty. So they need to go in here. In fact, you need to dash them with flour first, egg, and then breadcrumbs. That is all of the fish breadcrumbed perfectly. So fill up a pan of oil and start getting them fried. It's good to go. We're going to do it in batches, because the more fish you put in here, the lower the oil temperature will get. Oh yeah, that'll do for that batch. Right, they are ready to go. So I've just lined a bowl. Ah, fucking hell. I've just lined a bowl with some oil, and we can roll. Just let that oil drain out. Oh yeah, man. Look at that. Little golden nuggets of beautifulness. Okay, right, so we got Vic's chicken going in the wrap. I've drizzled this with a little bit of chili oil. We've got our cucumber, we've got our red shit, we've got our green shit. We are ready to make our wraps. So I am just going to have a little bit of this, a couple of bits of that, and then some beautiful and then, rather than the salsa they give you with these kits, I'm just going to have some Nando's. That. Oh. We're going to get tucked in. Listen, if you haven't liked the video already, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do. It's completely free. It's a massive help to the channel. We'll see you on the next episode.